Okay, we're going to brainstorm things that you can discuss in your assessment in relation to the Olympics, New Zealand bidding to host the Olympics. And you're thinking of 3 key points. The effect the Olympics would have on self, others and society. So if we just start brainstorming now, the effect on self. What are some ideas we've got there? How would the Olympics affect yourself? You need to start it off? Job opportunities. The Olympics will create employment because of all the numbers of people coming through, all the visitors, all the infrastructure that would need to be built, and that will create job opportunities and employment. And for you, that's significant because you're entering a stage of your life now where employment will become increasingly more important. And as you pull away from the realms of your family who have been supporting you and sponsoring you for all these years so far, you'll have to start making your own way in the world, not too distant future. And so employment's going to be a big thing. Definitely job opportunities will be an effect on self. Now what you would need to do is explain why. Why is that? Why would there be job opportunities? And you just go through it. And when you do that, you explain, you say, you make a point. There will be job opportunities from New Zealand hosting the Olympics. And then the next thing is explain why, how, and do a really thorough explanation why. And then back that up with an example. And your example can be figures, it can be quotes, or it can be anecdotes. Alright? It has to be backed up with something. And I've got all those articles up on my website which actually give so many different figures, so many different examples. You can base it on previous Olympics, you can base it on previous events that have happened, and you can base it on what other people say as well. But you always back it up with an example. Alright, we've got that? What are the other effects on self? You level 2 students will need 2 effects on yourself. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Possible increase in taxes for you, eh? Sure. Also, just the whole thing about the sport and the event, you may want to watch it. Watch, learn, enjoy. Alright, the opportunity. Self is a very personal thing. It'll have a different effect on everyone. Alright, but you need to come up with 2 different effects on self. Okay, others. Rub that out. Others. Others could be athletes. It could be taxpayers. It could be friends. It could be family. Right? Others could mean, others is exactly that, others. What effect will it have on others? Right? And I think that a good one to comment on will be the athletes. What effect will having the Olympics in New Zealand have on athletes? Right? And you can think quite deeply about that. Does anyone want to brainstorm here, the effects on others?
It'll be easier for the athletes to go to the competition since it's in their own countries.
Correct. Easy access. Alright, perform in front of family. What effect will it have on the New Zealand government and the politicians?
Increase in money, I guess. Benefit from.
Benefiting and sort of, a lot of countries really like to host big sporting events because it's very good for their It's very good for their, because these events are always popular and people enjoy them, it's very good for their approval ratings, isn't it? It's very good for their popularity. Okay, so politicians often use these events. So you can put yourself in John Key's shoe. What benefit you'd get from that? What other effects would it have on others? Okay, it's something to think about anyway, isn't it? Alright, and the last one there is society. What effect would the Olympics have on society? Society as a whole, New Zealand. What effect does it have on New Zealand? And for level 3s, this is a key question. What effect will it have on society? Right? Do we want to start brainstorming?
Better transport.
Infrastructure. I haven't spout that right, but infrastructure, correct. When you have to host a major event, you'll need to make improvements to enable that event to go smoothly. And in Rio de Janeiro, you can point to that example of how much money they spend on infrastructure. There's a whole lot of articles there which go through that. They had to build more roads, they had to build trains, they had to build sporting stadiums and centres, they had to build a village. Right? There's infrastructure there. Infrastructure, it would affect you in terms of infrastructure. Right? The infrastructure improvements. When New Zealand hosted the 2011 Rugby World Cup, the Auckland Council spent $40 million doing up Wynyard Quarter, which was just an old fishing village, which no one had access to. And now Wynyard Quarter is one of the prime entertainment places in Auckland. Eden Park got redeveloped. They spent $200 and something million on that. Right, so all these different things, all right, are legacies of major sporting events. Now, of course, that is directly related to the job opportunities, and also, of course, taxes. Someone's got to pay for it. All right, and so that's definitely related to that. Okay, and you can interrelate these things a little bit as well, because someone pays for it. And taxpayers pay for it. And we are all taxpayers. But really the people that earn a lot of money pay the most taxes, I guess. But then who benefits from these things as well? Who actually benefits from them? And that's another question to ask as well. Alright, because sometimes the reason why these events are controversial is because some people get a lot of benefits and some people don't get any benefits. Alright, so you've got to weigh that up. And for level 3s, that's something that you've got to consider. Who does this benefit? Who is benefiting from this? Because you've got to question and challenge that. Who benefits from these things? Rio de Janeiro, there's huge question marks about who benefited from that Olympics. There's question marks because a lot of people are suggesting that a lot of the poor people in Rio de Janeiro have had absolutely no benefit at all whatsoever. Okay, so for you guys, for level 3 students, question it, question everything. What are the other benefits of society? I would also raise the thing about tourism and image. Yeah, we all know where Rio de Janeiro is now. We all watched the opening ceremony. We've got an idea of their culture. Okay, it brings all these events. What this event would do would bring attention to that place, bring attention to New Zealand if New Zealand was to host it. All right, and that may relate to more tourists. And when tourists come, they spend money. And then that links back to job opportunities again. Tourism in New Zealand is New Zealand's number one income earner. People who come and visit. There's some figures out about last year we had the most amount of tourists ever visiting New Zealand, and they all come and spend money. And that's all money coming in, and they pay for things, and it's job opportunities for people. Right? So all these things are important. Image is important as well. What are any other societal benefits? I think I talked last week about sport. the benefit of sport and being active. Often after these large sporting events, people they want to take up some of these sports, they become interested in them, they want to do it. There's a movie at the moment out about Richie McCaw, it's a documentary, and he talks about why he wanted to start playing rugby. And Richie McCaw watched the Rugby World Cup final in 1987. Richie McCaw's around my age, so I can relate to this. I watched that too. And that Rugby World Cup final was the first Rugby World Cup. New Zealand won it and became the world champions. And apparently by watching that game, he became absolutely, he absolutely wanted to be a rugby star. He wanted to be an All Black based upon watching that. All right, so that encouraged him to play rugby and things, and all the benefits that are through playing sport and stuff. All right, but of course we can now question that as well. And you level 3s can question it because sport brings a whole lot of good things, but it also has a whole lot of bad elements to it as well. For you level 3s, you've got to question it. All right, and we talked a bit about the drugs involved and things, and performance-enhancing drugs, and the image that sends, and different things like that. And so you guys really need to question a lot of this stuff too. All right, can we go through anything else? Do you think? Any other benefits? Or any other effects on society here? Anyone else got any other ideas about this? Okay. Well, we'll just leave it there. So what I will be doing now is just having you work through that assessment, right, which is in your drive. Right, you can start working through that. And I haven't got a deadline on it yet. All right, but it won't be before the end of the term. We've got 2 and a bit more weeks left, and we're just going to be working through that. All right, and you're going to be working through that with support from me. So you get me to check your work, get me to check what we're doing, all right, and you can continue to read articles, continue to watch videos around it, all right, but we're just working through that, okay? Sweet. All right, we'll go in that computer room.